Well, Jim Hunter, just back from a trip to Mexico, which something completely different, and yet this has its similarities to the Isle of Man.
Yes.
You've been invited to go over and assist with the running of the Cain Road Races in Mexico.
Yeah, I can see why you call it Cain. It's the Manx pronunciation.
Go on.
It's actually pronounced. Let's get this right. Cain.
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 Yes.
Cain Road Races.
I can explain where that comes from if you'd like me to.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah.
The first two letters, CA, are the first two letters of the Spanish word for race, which is carrera. So CA, and the second two letters, IN. That's from Inferno, because the road that the course comes down is called the Devil's Backbone. Oh, so nice. You're sort of on the road to it's the Devil's Inferno, if you like. But it's pronounced Cain, which I learnt very quickly.
You first met Hector Quintela.
Yes.
On the island at the TT.
Yeah. I had a couple of correspondences with him on Facebook, and he said he was coming to the TT with his good friend Pepe. And I didn't think too much more about it. And then I was in the Haywood Centre having a coffee in between races. And he tapped me on the shoulder, introduced himself, and it all sort of snowballed from there, really.
Yeah. So you went out, 2 weeks ago, last Tuesday, was it?
It was it was Tuesday the 18th.
Yeah, 18th, yeah. And you were asked to actually carry out official duties there.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
As travelling marshal, which you do in the Isle of Man for the TT.
Right, yeah.
How long have you marshalled here for the TT as a TM?
Yeah, it's my 30th year.
30th year,
as travelling marshal.
Yeah, and a former Manx Grand Prix newcomers winner in
1986.
86,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going back a bit, but then you rode out there. You rode something probably you have never ridden before, a BMW 1000R.
Yeah, it was my second go actually. It's a local guy called George who has got a BMW S1000R, and he let me use that at the Derby Airfield on one occasion. But I hadn't ridden one for a number of years.
Yeah,
and of course it was. The whole thing was just like an unbelievable experience. We didn't know what was going to happen from 1 minute to the next.
Yeah.
When we arrived, we got whisked away in a Range Rover. We didn't really know where we were going or who was picking us up. And we went to this place called Concordia, and there was like a reception on. And we thought, okay, we're going to sit in the reception. And we walked in. We didn't get shown to a seat. We got shown to the stage. And then immediately asked us to explain who we were and say a little bit about what we were there for. And we just traveled for 2 days. There was no itinerary for anything.
Yeah.
But it just sort of all fell into place, and you just had to go with it, and that's it.
Yeah. Amazing. I know you travelled out with Ronnie Russell, a former top Manx Grand Prix rider and Isle of Man champion in the 70s.
Yeah.
And was there somebody else from the island as well?
There was just Ronnie and myself from the island, but I obviously know Gary Johnson because of his 2 TT wins.
Yeah,
I'd never really spoken to Gary before. Matthew Rees, I've known Matthew since he rode in the Manx Grand Prix, and I've always spoke to him when he's come over for the TT. But Gary's partner Freddie and Matthew's partner Anya, they were there.
Yeah,
and we got to know them really well over the week. And what a fantastic pair of guys.
Yeah,
I mean, we ended up they had a team in Mexico called SRT Sherwin-Williams was the name of the team, and just to give you an idea of the lengths they went to, Matthew normally rides a 636 Kawasaki, so Hector went out and bought him one.
Wow!
For him to use specifically for that event.
Yeah.
There were 4 BMW S1000RRs, and I was given one of them.
Yeah.
And Gary had one, Pepe had one, and Hector had one.
Yeah. So just to clarify, it isn't a race course.
No,
it's a point to point.
That's right. Yes. That's
74 kilometres. 74 kilometres, which is about 50 odd miles.
Yeah. 548 corners on it, and the best way I could think to. The closest thing to it we have in Europe, it's a bit like when you go skiing in the Alps. If you've been lucky enough to go skiing or cycling in the Alps, in that you go up through this what they call the Devil's Backbone, to the start point. Everybody meets there. Then the roads close, and they assemble something that looks just like the TT course start line, and with all the bikes trailed up behind it. 108 bikes there were this year.
Yeah.
And then 12 o'clock, off they go, 30-second intervals.
Wow.
But I had the honour of, I assumed that in a marshalling capacity, I would go last.
Yeah.
So if anybody fell off in front, then I would be able to. They asked me to go first.
Yeah.
So I had the privilege of being first guy down the course. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch you?
No. No. I was actually quite pleased with my time. I asked them if I could put a transponder on.
Yeah.
And he said, that's fine, yeah. So I was pleased with my time.
So your time
I got the 24th fastest time.
Really, out of all the riders?
Out of 108, yeah.
Wow.
So
they might want you to race it next year then.
Yeah. Gary was faster. Gary and Matthew recorded the fastest 600 time, got a special prize for that.
So Gary was fastest?
Gary was the fastest out of us, our little group.
But how did he go overall?
I think Gary came in at round about something like 18th and 19th.
Yeah, so the majority were South Americans, I take it.
There's a lot of Argentinians. Name you might know, David Paradis.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He was there. Guys from Argentina, Colombia, Peru, obviously a lot of Mexicans. Quite a few people coming down from the United States of America.
Yeah,
to take part.
Yeah, so it's obviously been going a few years.
2015, I think, was the first year.
Yeah,
I'm not that Dave Marsden-Migdal was invited in 2018. I think it was 2018. Dave and Jill went over.
Oh, they went over?
Yeah, they went.
Right, I didn't know that.
So I went over. Hector mentioned Dave's name to me when we met in the TT, and he mentioned Dave. So I went and I didn't really know Hector from Adam, and I was just going to speak to Dave about it. And Dave said, "Oh no, it's all. If you got the chance, definitely go for it."
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw from the footage you posted and other footage I've seen of it, it's pretty hairy.
I was trying to think how to. I'd say it's an event in its infancy, and it's obviously in its infancy. But it's what do I mean by that? Well, it is a time trial. They go every 30 seconds, but there are a lot of differences to the TT. For example, there's no rectocell. No straw bales anywhere on the course. Nothing.
Were there many marshals? I didn't see any on the footage.
Not in an official capacity. No.
Really?
There are guys who are stood around, sort of keeping on the busier areas. So they were talking about 10 to 15,000 people. It didn't feel that busy, but I've actually got 15,000 people spread out over that distance.
Yeah.
Then. But and there are some corners, a bit like Quarterbridge and Craignbar, where lots of people gather.
Rebásalo!
And they have got people there, just making sure that there's nobody crossing the road. But that is a big problem for them. The locals aren't. It's not. I've been on the Isle of Man. People don't understand what a road closing order is all about, and that's one of the things they're concerned about keeping animals off the course and keeping people off the course, just reminding people they can't go out when the roads are closed. Having said that, for the first 2 days of official practice, the roads are open. So that's something that I think they really need to seriously think about. But again, after the race had finished on Sunday, you sort of ride back into Concordia, and the amount of traffic that was queued up, waiting for the road to reopen. It's a big issue. A long line of traffic, lots of trucks and everything.
So it takes in mountainous areas, but it isn't necessarily all in the mountains.
I would say it's all in the mountain. Yeah.
All right. I thought you mentioned rainforest to me.
No, not rainforest. No. It is a mountain road, and there's parts of the course where it's like a bit. What did he say? 200-meter drop down. Yeah. And with just a steel arm coat going around. So one of the guys in our team, Pepe, he fell off. He went down a ravine, smashed his bike up, damaged a couple of vertebrae in his back, and cut his face and everything. But there's plenty of potential there for there to be a bad accident. But I think generally the standard of riding I was really impressed with it. Really good.
Yeah.
Good.